Welcome to Elevate eCommerce, the podcast where we elevate your e-commerce game. Join our host, Hymie, CEO of Eva, as he shares the latest strategies in Amazon, omnichannel, and advertising. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting, Hymie's insights and expert interviews will help you thrive in the e-commerce world. Tune in for practical tips and transformative success stories to elevate your business to new heights.
Welcome everyone to a new episode of Elevate e-commerce podcast. And today I have a great friend and one of the experts or masters of Amazon next to me. So thanks, Hymie, for joining our podcast.
Thank you for having me. Very excited.
So Hymie, a lot of people in the Amazon world, service providers, they all know about you. You have some great posts on LinkedIn. You also share your ideas, your tactics. So you're known, but if it will be great if you can give us a bit of an introduction of who is Hymie Zebede and the brand Hymie Zebede.
Yeah, no, of course. So I've been selling on Amazon for 12 years, always private label. I was doing very well off of two listings that I had. I bought my house from it. They were best-selling listings. And then I was buying it from the market. I tried to bring it in direct myself, working with the suppliers. And then I just had some issues with a few containers, back-to-back containers came in damaged. Lost a lot of money. And then I decided, I know how to build listings. I know how to, scale them, rank them organically, turn them into bestsellers, but I didn't know anything about the logistics and dealing with the suppliers and stuff like that. So I sold my business before the aggregator days. So I missed out on a little bit of a gold rush. But ever since then, I've just been building listings for people that have the infrastructure, they're already manufacturers, they know how to deal with suppliers. And I would go to people and say, like, look at my listings, look how good they're doing. And, I'm a nobody. I have, nobody ever heard of my brand. You have millions of dollars worth of inventory, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory, and I'm selling much more than you. So it doesn't make sense. And then I built a few listings for people, and the word spread that, the listings became home runs. So.
Right. I mean, great to hear that. So your kind of focus is very much on listings. We talk a lot about advertising on this podcast, and I understand that you have kind of a deeper experience also on the listing side. So maybe you can tell us, like, not just advertising, but what's your listing and advertising strategy at the high level?
So everything goes together. It's not only about the ads. The ads, I could be showing for one word and at a certain cost per click, and it doesn't do well. And then if I raise it or if I lower it, it'll do well. And then the price of my listing has a huge impact. The images have a huge impact. Sometimes you need to add a little call out to the main image. The review average, the review count, especially the honeymoon period, like everything goes together. Like I could be advertising one word in the beginning of the launch and it'll, make the listing a home run. It'll do so well. But then if I'm advertising this certain keyword at the end of the launch or, after the first 90 days, whenever the honeymoon period ends, it'll be a lot harder and more expensive to get it there for it to be profitable. So like everything needs to be done at the right time, starting the listing off at a low price so that every single keyword that I advertise on Amazon sees is converting well. And then the domino effect or the snowball effect, they'll want to show it because a lot of times they'll just bid very, very high because Amazon's making them bid high. But Amazon's making them bid high because you're kind of having to force them. Like if Amazon wants to make money, but they'll make money off of the FBA fee. They'll make money off of every unit that you're selling. So if they think, wow, this listing is a great listing, we want to show it here, like they'll let you bid lower. Like you won't have to force them to show it to the top. Everything goes together. there's so many different, I don't want to go off on a whole thing without structure, but everything, the listing needs to be perfect in so many ways, from the category to the images. The browse node has a huge impact on the ads also. Tell me where to begin. I can go further into it.
Absolutely. But I think my understanding is what you're saying is very holistic approach. It's not just the ads, the listing, the price, the category. I mean, a lot of things need to come together, which makes a lot of sense. So Amazon is changing every day, as you know. We have seen a lot of these fee changes starting from January till now. I mean, even before, it was always the trend that Amazon is slowly increasing their margin, but right now it's coming a bit obvious. There's also always different strategies. So what has been like, what is interesting for you, especially if you look at the last couple of months? Is there a new strategy that you are using that you were not using before and it's generating a better ROI?
So you're 100% right. Everything is always changing on Amazon. Something even just changed a few days ago. I actually posted it on LinkedIn. I didn't see anyone else post it, but a strategy that I used to love, it was amazing for conversions, was whenever you're running a lightning deal, you put the lowest quantity, and as people buy it, as the deal is running, you start to increase the available quantity so that you always keep it at 90% claimed, 80-90% claimed, and it creates a sense of urgency. Now, just a few days ago, they locked it. So now you can't adjust inventory levels on a lightning deal. So it was an amazing strategy that, for years we used to do. Put it at the lowest quantity, 10 units, and then just keep checking it every hour on the hour. Now we're going to put 15. Now we're going to put 20. That changed. There's so many different strategies that are always coming out, but overall it's really the same thing. Like, you just, obviously little things change, but it's all about showing Amazon that there's a high conversion on your listing, and that this keyword, you have to look at like certain keywords, this keyword is converting well, and then they'll do the rest of the work for you. If they see one keyword is converting well for you and you target that right keyword, then they'll start to show you for so many other similar and related keywords. And there's a million little hacks. I told you about that hack with the price change. I don't know if I should, want me to share that now, or is that like an ending?
At the end. By the way,
Okay.
I think Hymie is like one of these guys with tons of hacks. So be like, just watch until the end, guys, because Hymie already mentioned 2 hacks to me, and I was like, wow, So, and these are these little things, but if you know 100 of these little things, obviously
They
things
all
will
add up.
change for you, right? I mean, it's the point to always have this unique strategies combined on Amazon. So thanks for that. And as we always talk about advertising, what is if we just let the advertising stay, and what is not advertising but impacting the advertising strategy? Is my next question, where you already mentioned the listing, but maybe let's go a bit deeper on that, like listing, pricing, and the way that you are using that.
So there's a lot of things that impact the advertising, and that's why people will say, I tried out a keyword and it didn't work for me. But everything has to be right for it to work properly, to see how it really works. So your listing, first of all, it has to be beautiful. It has to be that the main image, you need to like A/B test the main image to make sure, wow, they can't touch the product. They can't touch it. It's not like a retail store they could touch it and see the quality. Like, it has to be so vivid that when they're seeing your ad, that they want to click into it. And like, I was even playing around with one of my listings, and the competitor's image, dimensions, was a bigger image, but the way that it was shaped, my image, which I had to play around with it, but I got my image to look bigger than theirs. Like, my image looks like an extra 2 inches bigger when you compare, but if you look at the dimensions, theirs is actually bigger. It's just the square shape. Like, it makes a big difference on the ads now. and then showing, for example, let's say you have multiple variations and one of the variations is cheaper than the others. You would want to show the cheaper item usually. Or else if you're showing a different variation that's more expensive, you might have less clicks. So like all these little things make a difference. And sometimes you can really go so deep into it. But if I'm advertising one ASIN too much, like one color too much, and I'm getting sales on that, I've seen that ASIN now. Let's say I'm advertising a pink water bottle for the keyword water bottles, and I'm getting a lot of sales. And now Amazon shows the pink water bottle organically for the word water bottle. I've seen, because it got so many sales, but it actually was converting better originally when it had a different color water bottle. Like now people will, it's not such a good thing. Now all of a sudden Amazon, they're showing a different color because I drove so much traffic to it. Now they're organically showing a different color to it, and it's even having a negative effect. That's why even sometimes you'll lower the price on like a bad color, and like if it might start to organically rank for the bad color, and like it's not the best thing to do. There's a lot of different things you got to play with. So the pricing is huge, the main image is huge. You got to make sure you have a good review average. A lot of people, I've seen them advertising like very bad review listings, and it's like you're paying for this spot, and it's crazy. You're advertising like bad news. You're advertising like, look how bad my product is. And I don't know if I should go into the Vine. Should I talk about Vine? How like to use
Actually, you know
that for
what? It's
reviews, or
because we already mentioned that there will be 2 hacks, but this is super important now. Maybe you can mention it, but also in general, like what is the strategy to increase the reviews?
so first of all, I never recommend messing around with fake reviews. It's not worth it at all. I know sellers who are doing over $100 million that got suspended for reviews. And if somebody gets suspended, another person moves right up. Like they don't care to lose that business because another person will take your spot with a very, very similar product, and Amazon's not losing money. And the way that I like to build reviews is enrolling in Vine and requesting reviews for every single order. And the way that you launch the product, you should launch it at a very cheap price where you're getting so many sales. First of all, the so many sales are going to build up the organic rank for all the keywords. So it's an investment in your listing. And then all those sales you're getting, because you're at a cheap price, now you can request reviews on all those sales. And like you got to build it up. You got to build it up quick on Amazon. You can't go slow. Amazon is not, oh, you know what, I'll take my time, I'll let it build up. It's like there's other competitors who are working harder than you to do it faster than you, and you can't let them speed up way past you. It's very hard to, very hard to keep up like that, to catch back up. So request reviews. A lot of times people will put, insert cards, not inserts asking for reviews, because that could get a little bit messy. People say, leave me a 5-star review, even though a lot of people do it. I'm talking about insert cards that say, if there's any problem, please reach out. And then somebody will, tell you, hi, I received this, it was broken. And you say, oh, I'm so sorry, let me send you a replacement. And that person was pissed off. They were pissed off enough to email you or to scan the QR code and email you. So they probably would have left a bad review. And then you'll see like these people will now start leaving good reviews. They'll start saying, reached out to the customer service. They took care of me. Great product, great people to work with. So that's what I recommend for reviews. Sell cheap, request reviews, good customer service, and Vine.
Right. Absolutely. So, by the way, I like this insert cards, and that's where the 3PLs also become important, right? So using the right team, if it's not owned by the private label, in some cases they do it, but having this inserts done right can really have a good impact with the product as well. So, Hymie, you already mentioned so many nice hacks as well, like as you talk about the subject. So, and you had your own brand. You helped many brands till now. Would you like to share kind of a case study, like how you helped and what was the result? at the end?
There's a lot. I have a lot of different case studies. I actually went back into my own private label brand, the same product that I was selling 12 years ago, and I relaunched it. And I brought in a lot of goods recently, about a little bit less than a year ago. And I tried to, calculate exactly how many units we would need, looking at the best competitors. And I was still a little bit off, but like within the first 2 months, we went from zero, and then the second month was 15,000, and the third month was 60,000, and like with minimal ads. And then we actually started running low on stock on one of the sizes because it was clothing. It was a lot of different sizes and colors. But this time we aired it in, and the listing, thank God, is picking up strong. But I've brought people to very, very big numbers, to from zero to over 20 million within a few years. And just, it's really all just about making sure that you don't run out, making sure that you're aggressive in the beginning. You can't just take it easy. Like a lot of people will launch so many items in the beginning, like they'll launch, oh, I want to launch 50, 100 items when I start. But like they don't have the advertising budget to really give them all enough focus. And then they start having meetings about, okay, this item is slow. What are we going to do about it? This item, how are we going to speed it up? But they're completely ignoring the main items that are bringing all the money in. Like they're not saying, wow, this item is paying our bills. It's doing so well for us. How can we make it better? Like they're focused on all the slow things. So like just, being focused on the main bread and butter listings and not getting too spread out. Like that's how I really build up businesses strong.
Got it. Makes a lot of sense. So, and I also saw that you had a lot of nice posts about like how to launch the products and your successes as you launch the product. But congratulations on your own brand too. One
Thank
thing
you.
interesting, Hymie, and I like this question because I am very much involved in technology with the EVA platform, as well as the using the artificial intelligence in many different ways. Now, one of the things that, as you're in the industry for almost 12 years, but in the last, especially like the 2 years with the introduction of ChatGPT, things are changing faster, moving towards that AI content creation. There's something. So what are the ways that you leverage AI today to be even more successful?
So I'll use tools like ChatGPT and different AI, first of all, for analyzing data on like what am I selling? If I sold this many more units at this same tacos, what would it be? Just like calculating different predictions, and also helping with optimizing listings. Like you can't let it fully optimize a listing for you, but you could also act as if you're this persona. Like like this is my product. I'm selling this type of product. Who is the customer that would buy? What's their age? Are they male, female? What's their status on so many levels? And then you'll tell ChatGPT, optimize a listing that a person with these demographics would relate to and would like. And then you start to incorporate all your different keywords. And then also you can upload, because Amazon is also using AI, in their listings. And it's like very important that Amazon could read, first of all, the images. Like the bots need to be able to read the images and know exactly what the product is. So like you could even do it on Amazon, where you could upload the image, and like they'll tell you what it is. But I would just upload it onto, any AI, any Chat GPT, or I forget what it's called, the other program that's for the images part of it, and just say like what do you see in my image, and like make sure that a computer could actually read your image, not just like I'm going by, yeah, I could tell this is what it is. A lot of times it'll tell you something completely different, and you won't even know what it is. Just a little bit of ideas, asking, what could I add to this main image now that people will see, the benefits more. Maybe it'll say add a little hang tag, or it'll add a little, sticker onto the main image that says this, and this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A
So
million different things.
these are
Yeah.
the areas now what I'm seeing is ChatGPT content is so perfect. Like I really don't know. The digital marketers will have some challenges as ChatGPT already takes over, right? I mean, many things. Of course, you still need somebody to run the AI,
It's going to be who
but
could do it the best, who could do it the best and not make it, you know what I mean? You can't just feed it. You have to feed it with the right prompts and the right instructions and really dig in and 100 different revisions, you know, like you have to really perfect it.
Exactly. So even one thing that you mentioned, right? So you can create a listing with ChatGPT, but you mentioned about a prompt where you also give ChatGPT what is the demographics, like what type of a persona is going to buy. Now, I am pretty sure 95% of these listing creators, they don't do it. They just focus on features, maximum benefits, and just try to make sure that all the keywords are in, but without thinking who is going to buy this. Is this the 18-year-old guy? Is it the 60-year-old guy? Is it the man, woman in California, whatever? So that
Exactly.
is super important. And it's already an information. It might be available depending on if it is a launch or not, already on Amazon, right? The demographics and everything. So that's
Exactly.
already another hack from my point of view. So,
Also, I'll
right.
mention one more thing. I built a tool using ChatGPT to just help me with, you know, the different, you know, how to set up like the script and everything. But basically, importing where your inventory is in Amazon's fulfillment center, and then it'll, you know, generate a map and show you by zip code. Like you put all the different zip codes, and it'll show you like how many units do you have in this area, how many units do you have in this area. Because like a lot of times people will see in one state they'll see 2 day shipping, and in another state they'll see 4 day shipping or 5 day shipping. And when we, you know, I have so many different, you know, case studies, and just always happens that if your shipping time gets delayed like that, you see a drop in conversions. And then somebody who's not aware of that, they might just say, you know what, the ads aren't doing good right now. We need to change something. But like the ads might be perfect, but just there's something wrong with your inventory levels right now, and now it's making your ads convert worse. You know what I mean? So like you could dig in so much.
No, that's
You
a
could dig in
very
so
interesting
much.
point. By the way, an area that I focus a lot because it's a combination, as you said, the listing, advertising, availability, profit. It's a combination of everything. Um, so let's assume that you are checking the top 5 states that you are selling, and you know that you are lacking the inventory in California, but you are based in New York and you're just sending stuff to the closest Amazon warehouse to, let's say, in New Jersey. Now, what are you going to do to increase specifically the quantities for the California?
So I'm not going to really be able to directly influence that exact, you know, area, but a lot of people they'll send, you know, oh, I only want to send to the closest destination,
Mhm.
and it's going to the closest destination, but then Amazon they're receiving it, and then it's going into FC transfer, and things are getting delayed, and maybe people aren't preparing in advance enough stock in Amazon. Like if they're waiting, and if they're waiting to restock when they're 30 days or less of inventory, that's all they have. They're, you know, they're understocked right now. You have 30 days of stock, you're running low. And like Amazon is not going to be able to send it out and spread it out quick enough by the time you send it. And then all those things happen. Like you want to have in 60 to 90 days worth of stock. And then if somebody starts a new listing, also they start a new listing and they're only sending in 100 units of something, how is it going to be spread out? How is it going to be spread out properly? So like all these little things, it's just inventory management, making sure that you have enough stock in Amazon, that you're not waiting till the last minute to send it in. That's really the best, you know. But I'll use that visual and show people like, look, we don't have enough stock. This whole side of the country is empty on stock right now. Why are we cutting it so close? We should not be sending in, 30 days worth of stock at a time. Where it's like dry. It's like you know what I mean? It's not good like that. But yeah.
That's a good point. Absolutely. So, I mean, we talked a lot about Amazon and little hacks here and there. And as we also discussed that Amazon is making it more and more difficult because of all the fees and the complexity increasing. And a lot of sellers are looking into different marketplaces or different ways of e-commerce, like direct to consumer. What's your omni-channel strategy, and what is the right time to start looking beyond Amazon?
So me personally, all my experience is with Amazon. So I've been doing it for so long. That's what I know. So I don't really go into other marketplaces. If somebody needed to go into another marketplace, maybe I tell them reach out to you. Reach out to an expert in who handles other marketplaces. For me, it's not my specialty, but I do know that there's a lot of growth on Amazon that people are not hitting their potential, and they'll take the easy way out. They'll say, you know what, we're doing a little bit on Amazon. Let's put it over here on eBay. Let's do it on this. And it's like they're not even focused enough on Amazon at the moment. You know what I mean? There's so many things going not optimal with their Amazon marketplace. Why are you going to spend your day now trying to do it on eBay or on Walmart? Like Amazon is definitely stronger, has more traffic. Like, shouldn't you at least get that organized and that in the right direction before moving on to other places? And then it also depends on how much you have on like ad spend. Like, I don't know, if somebody's on a tight budget, are they going to be taking away now from Amazon and putting onto another marketplace? Really, I don't have so much experience with other marketplaces, so I can't, I'm biased like that. But I would say, like, I know there's a lot of potential on Amazon. And if your competitors are doing something, certain levels, like, we could be right up there. They don't know any secrets that we don't know. So like, people doing small numbers and then all of a sudden they want to go to other marketplaces. I always tell them, like, I don't know why we're not focusing over here right now. But
Exactly, especially like some of these, there are still brands that are not on Amazon. They want to launch at the same time, Amazon, Walmart, TikTok
yeah,
shop here, there. And the first thing that I told them is like, hey guys, why don't we just focus on Amazon, and
focus.
maybe you reach 50 to 100K and we can evaluate again, for your top sellers. The idea is the top sellers will anyway sell in the other marketplaces, but still there is a lot more to do on Amazon. Maybe the 100K, you can make it $1 million a month. Who knows?
Exactly.
As you said, maybe you're just number 7 in the bestsellers rank or for that keyword. What if you are number 2, number 1? There is always a way to improve the seller sales. And when it doesn't make sense anymore and you're in a protection mode with Amazon and maximize the profit, probably it's okay to look at global expansion or different marketplaces. So
Definitely.
that was my kind of final question. So as people are waiting for your hack, I'll be very happy if you share that one too.
Oh, okay. Just I'll give a few. One hack is, what I like to do is, you set up a repricer, or you can it depends on how many products you have, but you change your price just by a penny. Change it by a penny, up and down. And what that'll do is, everybody who has your product saved in their cart, they'll get an alert on their phone. The price has changed. And now they're reminded, wow, I had this item in my cart. I completely forgot, or I saved it for later. I completely forgot. I see price. They don't care, price decreased 1 penny. That's not what's getting them to buy it. They're being reminded, oh, I forgot about this item. Let me buy it. And we definitely see improved sales from doing that. That's just one thing that, like, it can't hurt. It could only help. And another thing that I see people, I don't know if it's a hack or if it's just a good strategy, but like, when you enroll in Vine in the beginning, first of all, forgetting even the honeymoon period, how much benefit it will have for the honeymoon period. But when you enroll in Vine, you want to put it at a very, very aggressive price. You want to put it at a cheap price, even though you're giving it away for free, right? You're giving it away for free. The Vine people are getting it for free anyway. So put it at a very low price so that they'll only want to leave you a good review. They're leaving the review for the shopper based on the value. So if they get a product and they say, "Wow, it works great. It was a great price, 5 stars," as opposed to if you're at a high price, and I've seen it so many times, you're at a high price or your target price, the person could just be, they're a pain. Oh, I didn't like how I didn't like how it fit, or it didn't. They'll complain about the littlest thing, even though they got it for free. It's okay. They'll leave it a 4 star, but like you don't want 4 stars with Vine, especially during a new launch. You want only 5 stars. So you put it at a low, low price, get all good reviews, and that'll also help, build up the organic ranks during the honeymoon period. Things I see a lot of people mess that up because people will launch something and roll it in Vine at the regular price. They get one bad review and it's over. Like they just wasted thousands of dollars. Now they got a 1 star review. They're going to need to wait for all good reviews to come in. What are they going to do? They're going to have to advertise bad reviews to get sales. Like it's a disaster. So you make it bulletproof.
That's
That's
a
a
very
hack
good
also, I
point.
guess.
Yeah, I like it. It's all, by the way, the first one that you mentioned is already a natural, kind of what Eva is doing every day. Like Eva changes the price. It can also be a cent, but also it depends on different factors that maybe there is a way to maximize the profit without impacting velocity. But we have seen that price change daily is very much helping, these people who forgot to purchase the item. So
Very
makes a
important. The
lot of sense.
repricing is very important. Maximize the profit. If something's selling too fast, you might need to slow it down a little bit and increase the price. It's so important. It's so important to use a repricer for sure.
Great to hear that too. So Hymie, thank you very much for being our guest. Amazing hacks already. And, anybody who needs some creative advices and consulting, I think should definitely reach out to you. Thanks for joining our call.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you. See you.